Hey everyone, welcome back to Delta Edge, your ultimate guide to the stock market. Today, we're diving into an essential topic: how to start stock market investing in India. Whether you're a complete beginner or you've dabbled a bit, this video is your one-stop shop. So grab your notebooks, get comfy, and let's get started. All right, let's kick things off with the first and most crucial step in your Indian stock market journey: getting your PAN card. Think of your PAN card, or permanent account number card, as your financial ID in India. It's a 9-digit alphanumeric wonder that you absolutely need for any financial transaction, including investing in the stock market. No PAN card, no investing. It's as simple as that. You can apply for it online through the NSDL or UTI ITSL portals. Just Google them and you're good to go. It's a pretty straightforward process, and trust me, you'll thank me later once you're raking in those sweet stock market gains. Don't be like me. Get your PAN card sorted before you even think about investing. Now that you've got your PAN card sorted, it's time to open a demat and trading account. Think of your demat account, short for dematerialized account, as your digital treasure chest where all your shares will be stored electronically. No more bulky paper certificates. Everything's online and super convenient. You'll also need a trading account, which acts as your gateway to the stock market. There are tons of brokers in India offering these services, like Zerodha, Upstocks, and ICICI Direct. How do you choose the right one? It all comes down to your individual needs and preferences. My advice? Research different brokers, compare their fees, features, and customer support, and choose the one that best aligns with your investing style. Don't just jump on the bandwagon and go with the most popular option. You've got your PAN card, you've opened your demat and trading account, you're practically a stock market pro already. Just kidding. We've still got a few more steps to go. Before you can start buying and selling shares, you'll need to link your bank account to your trading account. This step is crucial because it allows you to seamlessly transfer funds for buying stocks and withdraw your profits. Think of it like this: your bank account is like your wallet, and your trading account is like your stock market shopping cart. Most brokers have a simple online form that you can fill out, and you'll need your bank account details handy. It's quick, it's easy, and it'll save you a lot of headaches down the line. Let's move on to the next step. Chapter 4. Learn the basics. Before you even think about dropping your hard-earned rupees on some fancy-sounding stocks, let's get you familiar with the basics of the stock market. Understanding these fundamentals is crucial for making informed decisions. We'll start with the basics. What are stocks? Stocks represent ownership in a company and are a claim on part of the company's assets and earnings. Simply put, stocks are like tiny pieces of ownership in a company. They are issued by companies to raise capital for growth and expansion. When you buy a stock, you're essentially buying a small slice of that company. This means you become a shareholder and have a stake in the company's future. And just like any good business owner, you get to share in the company's profits, hopefully, in the form of dividends. Dividends are periodic payments made to shareholders from the company's earnings. Next up, we've got market capitalization, or market cap for short. This is a key metric used to determine the size and value of a company. This fancy term simply refers to the total value of a company's outstanding shares. It's calculated by multiplying the current share price by the total number of outstanding shares. Think of it as a measure of how big or small a company is in the eyes of the stock market. Larger companies are often considered more stable, while smaller companies might offer higher growth potential. An index is like a basket of stocks that represents a particular market or sector. It helps investors track the performance of a group of stocks. In India, we've got the Sensex and Nifty, which are two of the most popular indices that track the performance of the top companies listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange. These indices provide a snapshot of the market's overall health. The key is to start with the basics and gradually build your knowledge over time. Investing is a journey, and continuous learning is essential. There are tons of online resources, books, and even courses available to help you along the way. Take advantage of these tools to become a more informed and confident investor. Chapter 5. Start with a budget. Now that you're practically a stock market whiz, it's time to talk about the money part, your budget. The golden rule of stock market investing, especially for beginners, is to start small. Don't go all in with your rent money or your emergency fund. Remember, the stock market is a fickle beast, and prices can go down just as easily as they go up. A good rule of thumb is to invest only what you can afford to lose without it affecting your lifestyle or financial goals. Start with a small amount that you're comfortable with, maybe a few thousand rupees, and gradually increase your investments as you gain more experience and confidence. Investing in the stock market is a marathon, not a sprint. Chapter 6. Research and choose stocks. Now for the fun part, choosing your stocks. This is where the adventure truly begins. This is where your detective skills come in handy. You need to dig deep and uncover the hidden gems. We're looking for companies with strong fundamentals, good growth potential, and a solid track record. These are the pillars of a sound investment. Think of it like dating. You wouldn't just marry the first person you meet, right? You need to be selective and cautious. You want to get to know them, understand their values, and see if they're a good match for you. It's about compatibility and shared goals. The same goes for stocks. Compatibility is key. Don't just buy a stock because it has a catchy name or because your friend's uncle's neighbor's dog told you to. Do your research, investigate thoroughly. Luckily, we live in the age of information, and there are tons of resources available to help you make informed decisions. Use them wisely. Financial news websites, stock market apps, and even annual reports are your best friends. They provide invaluable insights. Look for companies in industries that you understand and believe in. Familiarity can give you an edge. The key is to find companies that align with your interests and investment goals. This alignment will help you stay committed and confident in your choices. Chapter 7. Diversify your portfolio. You know what they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversifying your portfolio is one of the most important things you can do to minimize risk and protect your hard-earned money. Imagine this. You've invested all your money in a single stock, and for some reason, that company tanks. Not a good feeling, right? The emotional and financial stress can be overwhelming. But what if you had spread your investments across different companies, industries, and even asset classes? This strategy can significantly reduce your risk. Even if one investment performs poorly, the others can help cushion the blow. This balance is crucial for long-term success. Think of diversification as your stock market safety net. It's there to catch you when things go wrong. It helps you weather the inevitable ups and downs of the market and come out on top in the long run. Market volatility is less intimidating when you're diversified. Start by investing in companies from different sectors, such as technology, healthcare, finance, and consumer goods. Each sector has its own growth potential and risks. You can also diversify by investing in different market caps. Large cap stocks for stability, mid cap stocks for growth potential, and small cap stocks for a bit of excitement and risk. This mix can provide a balanced approach to your investment strategy. Chapter 8. Monitor and review your investments. Congratulations, you've made it. You're officially a stock market investor. But hold on, the journey doesn't end there. Once you've invested your money, it's important to keep an eye on your portfolio and make adjustments as needed. The stock market is constantly changing, evolving, and throwing curveballs your way. Set aside some time each month to review your portfolio's performance. Are your investments performing as expected? Are there any red flags that you need to address? don't be afraid to make changes if necessary. If a particular stock isn't performing well, or if your investment goals have changed, don't be afraid to sell it and reinvest the proceeds in something that aligns better with your current strategy. The more you monitor and review your investments, the better you'll become at making informed decisions and achieving your financial goals. And there you have it, your complete guide to starting stock market investing in India. I hope you found this video helpful and maybe even a little bit entertaining. Remember, investing in the stock market can be a rewarding experience, both financially and personally. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Delta Edge for more insights into the stock market and investing. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Got questions or thoughts about stock market investing in India? Drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy investing.